guys, Ishin from CZeroMedia here. In today's episode, I am quite excited because I am headed up to FNS Motorsports to check out the 1000 wheel horsepower Evo start off for the first time. I'm gonna get it to see it idling and possibly even see it drive around, which would be awesome. In the last episode, we put the motor in, the transmission in, and the turbo was in there, but they had to figure out all the piping. I hear they have a dry sump in the car now too. So I'm looking forward to checking it out. But before I head out to the shop, couple shoutouts here. I got these awesome air fresheners from jdmautoscents.com. Alex, the owner, sent me this JDM Leaf air freshener that I'm gonna hang off my mirror. If you haven't seen the video of me explaining the true meaning of the JDM Leaf, make sure to go check that out. And don't worry about how messy my desk is because I am installing LED lights up in my ceiling right now, and it's a complete mess. My whole house is a complete chaos. And over here I have a t-shirt from the Hamburg mechanic, and he sent me a couple screwdrivers too. Anyways, I am gonna get my, actually, you know what? I'm gonna wear this t-shirt to the shop. And we're back. Awesome. I'm gonna get some espresso, some nice and awake, and go do some filming. These are the LEDs I'm installing in the house right now because the office area is so dark that I decided to do something fancy to install a strip here. I don't know if I like this setup, so I'm changing the LED channels, but that's that. Here's a map of all the places I've been to the world, the United States, of course, all over. I love the Caribbean, Jamaica, Costa Rica, Panama, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Peru, Argentina, all over Europe, of course. Easy to get to once you're there. Tokyo, where I'm from. Seoul, Taipei, Thailand, Bangkok, all those things, Guam, Australia. I was in Australia a long time ago and I need to go back there. There's so much JDM car scene down there, and a lot of my subscribers are from Australia and New Zealand, and I get so many inquiries from you guys about shipping parts from CZeroMedia.com to Australia, and unfortunately shipping costs is a lot, really expensive for the most time. But thanks to all my Kiwi and Aussie viewers. Oh, what a beautiful day of April here. Just kidding, it's miserable outside. It's supposed to snow today. I am so not looking forward to this. Rush hour traffic! Awesome. There's so much traffic here in Michigan, like every other state. Let's see what this thing smells like though. And look how big this thing is. This is not your ordinary air freshener. Oh my god, it smells so good. It smells like my childhood growing up in Japan in the candy stores. A little bit of JDM-ness in my super redneck American truck. Now I'm off to FNS Motorsports. So, I don't know if you guys can hear this or see this, but it's literally raining and snowing at the same time. It's cold as hell and windy. My truck is like going left and right. And it's middle of April. What the hell? And on this weekend, it's supposed to be 70 degrees outside. Crazy stuff. Alright guys, I am back at FNS Motorsports. The weather is absolutely horrible right now. It's really starting to snow now, and it's middle of April. I am so glad I'm going inside the garage where it's nice and warm. Here we go. Alright, I'm back at FNS Motorsports and everything looks so different right now. There's a pickup truck in the back, like a lifted truck. I don't know what's going on. Promo's car is here. This is Joe's car over here. Shop car is no longer here. It's back there getting worked on right now. Okay, so hold on. So last time I was in here, we just put the motor in with the transmission. Yeah. And there was no like piping. The exhaust manifold was on there with the turbo, but you didn't have like the intercooler piping, any of that, right? It was just kind of sitting there empty, and here we are today with the engine there. Everything's kind of bottoming up right now.
Yeah. So everything kind of has its place. It's kind of gone together a lot better than expected. We've kind of got 10 pounds of stuff in a 5-pound bucket, but it's been fit very strategically. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't look like quite a mess. So we're going to talk about kind of like the mess that you see in front of you and why you see a ton of spaghetti, which are the AN lines the car runs on. So we'll start up at the top, right? Let's start at top, work our way down, because the one at the bottom is kind of long and in depth. So up top, you've got the fuel pump, which we talked about in the last video. So you see, there we go. We got a light here.
All right.
Fuel pump here routes to the fuel rail.
Yeah.
Goes to the fuel pressure regulator. That goes back to the tank.
Okay.
These are all the vent. These are two of the vent lines for the catch can. You've got two more here. Those two go to the block. So one goes to the front of the block down here. One goes to the dipstick. Then the two come to the valve cover. Obviously you've got coolant here. So we have an electric water pump on the car.
Okay.
So coolant goes through there, comes out the cylinder head here between the cams, and then goes down to a water pump that we have on the firewall.
You have it on the firewall?
Yeah, it's mounted on the firewall.
That guy right there, the silver piece?
Yep.
Okay.
So there is no mechanical water pump on this motor. It's an entire electrical setup. We can control flow and coolant temp based on the fan and the speed of the water pump.
Interesting. And you don't have water going through, or coolant going through
the block. It's going directly just the cylinder head.
Just the head.
Yeah,
interesting.
So
okay.
the cylinder head, the whole deck is completely welded shut. The motor is filled with concrete, and then it's the setup we run is a copper head gasket, and we have an O-ring package, O-ring head, and we receiver groove the block. So you cut the block, so it actually has like a rigid groove that the O-ring can press the gasket into. So it leaves an impression. So the gasket kind of folds into the block and the cylinder head, and it helps all the sealing issues you may have at like 50 psi. So then you work your way down. And
so how long was this coolant system just on the head? Can you do any street driving? Like how long can you cruise around, should I say?
I can tell you coolant temps with the fan and the water pump on don't go above 165.
Oh.
They stay right around 150-ish, 155-ish. If I turn the fan off and the water pump off, it'll go to like 185, 190. I turn it on, within probably a minute, it's down to like 150, 145. It's very quick. So as we move our way down, you're gonna kind of notice there's like this doodad here, there's one on the front of the motor, there's a tank over here.
Yeah, this tank. What is this tank, right?
It's a full dry sump system. So you had the teaser in the last video that showed the car running. We had the car running and driving, making boost. We were out, doing some test pulls, and I noticed kind of like a weird oil pressure issue, which I've seen a couple times before. So I made a call over to Marco at Magnus Motorsports, and they sent us this lovely dry sump system.
Yeah, this thing's massive.
Yeah. So it's an 8-quart tank. So now all the oil is here outside of the motor.
Right.
You've got a line here that goes up to the filter housing. This is for a primer unit, so we can actually prime the oil system before the motor starts, so it never has a dry start on the motor.
Interesting. So how does this work? Is it like a gear inside?
No, it's like a pump inside here, like a gear rotor, but you just spin this with a 7/16 socket, and it primes the oil system and gives oil pressure to the car.
Interesting.
So it pulls oil out of the bottom of the tank. Over here to the drive side, or the suction side on the pump, this is the oil pump here. See it down here. The suction side is on the bottom. This is the pressure side on the top. So it comes out the top, comes here to the filter, goes through the filter, goes from here, down around, and down to the front cover on the motor. You'll notice there's a billet front cover and a billet oil pan now on the motor. Magnus makes all this stuff in-house. It's a pretty badass unit. The other thing that we're gonna do, the other option you have, and I'm purchasing the option later this year and moving some stuff around, I can now drive the fuel pump off the oil pump. So now if the car ever throws the belt on the dry sump, it shuts the car off completely.
Does anybody else do that, or is this something innovative that you sort of...
I mean, there's a few guys that run them on the DSMs. As far as the Evos go, he makes a low mount fuel pump setup. And you can drive it off the dry sump. It's like a $100 option for on the dry sump to drive it off the backside with a hex drive. But I mean, for us, it just made more sense. If I've got safeties built into the ECU, I have a 3D table I'll show you later that shows oil pressure over RPM. So if the car ever sees less than 5 PSI oil pressure, it shuts off completely.
Interesting.
But I would like it also to be the fact where if it's driven off the oil pump, and if it ever tosses the belt or the belt breaks or anything happens to the oil pump, it shuts the car off completely.
Right. Awesome.
It's just
Great safety feature. Yeah. So for those of you who are not familiar with the external oil filter, is that for bigger capacity and easy access?
Yeah, we mounted it here just because of the location in the engine bay. I didn't want to have it mounted here and trying to run a ton of lines back around. And, I wanted to be able to get to the primer unit.
Yeah.
So most guys mount their oil tank here, and then probably mount their filter housing here. But because we have the turbo here, we can't really do that.
Right.
So we didn't really have that option. In the last video, we talked about the Lyre clamps, and we showed you how they work kind of on the table, if you will.
Yep.
But they're now on the turbo and on the upper pipe. So,
bam.
We're gonna start stocking the Gingerneering bumper mount kits. So we'll have those in stock now.
And I want one for my Evo.
Deal, you got it. And we'll do an install video so guys can see how it
that'd
installs.
be great. Yeah.
Evo 8, Evo 9, Evo 10 is coming out here in a few weeks. And I believe Subaru is coming out here in a couple weeks. So like you and I talked about, it makes no sense to have the side bumper latches and not have the front ones because you still have to unbolt it from the car. So now you can actually adjust height. So if you have any bumper sag in the middle of the bumper, you can actually adjust these and raise or lower the latches on the bumper. So it pulls the bumper up tighter.
Yep.
Or you can lower it, you can do whatever you want to with it.
That's
so you get a
awesome.
little bit more flexibility.
That's awesome. Because basically what I have on my car is I have the side mounts, but I don't have these center ones. So what I have to do is actually mount it from the side and zip tie it or bolt it from the top, which doesn't make any sense.
The ECU and the ignition are on the firewall on the inside, right? So they come up to here and they're terminated on a Deutsch connector. This is the engine harness. So the engine harness unplugs just like this.
Yeah.
And it clips back on there like so. And if you'll notice, the clamps are kind of similar to the Lyre clamps. I think that's kind of the way Justin was trying to think about this. But
I see.
The other piece here is this is the ignition harness. So like I can unplug this and take my whole coil setup off the car.
Yep. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Super clean, super reliable, and actually like Formula 1 cars, Indy cars, all of them use this system as well.
It's
the whole
it's
car
a really nice
is Deutsch
system.
connector. So
Jacob over at Ascension did a really good job on it. It's I mean, you get what you pay for sure.
yeah. Alright, so Evo's engine is prime and it's good to go, except the battery pack is kind of on the charger right now. So
Hey, don't tell people we let batteries die.
yeah. Battery lives matter. Hold on, what is this? What is this massive piping? What is this, 5 inches? Holy shit.
It's 5 inch.
I've never seen pipe so large. And this is going onto the shop truck.
Well, yeah.
Is it a shop truck or is it
I mean, it's my truck.
what
It's
is-
basically the shop truck.
Yeah. Wait, so is this stock exhaust right now?
Right now it's stock exhaust. That's part of the stock exhaust.
Okay. Stock aftermarket. 5-inch diameter versus I think 3-inch. So this is what's going on the truck. What's amazing about this truck though is that it's stock ride height. It's not lifted or anything, and look how much clearance there is. So it's 35-inch tires.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
The front's jacked up a little bit, but I mean the rear's still pretty. That's not bad.
Right. And this thing is retarded too, because it's got extended bed and full cab, right?
Yeah.
This is as big as it comes.
Yeah, my friends in Canada, Matt over at Magnus, calls it the longest truck in the world.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It doesn't come any longer than
He
this.
said you can tell you're from America when you come with this truck because it's gigantic.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you have the trailer on it, it's ridiculous. All right, so this one, I mean, it's all apart now, so you can see it.
Yeah. I mean, we heard the plan last time. We were
Yeah, so now it's all apart. The trans is over at Dan Busher, getting done.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's getting an XZEDI twin HD. Evan Klein hooked Alan up with that. It's got an ETS top mount 64-66 kit.
Yeah.
So that's going on. A driven fab front mount intercooler, driven fab catch can and overflow tank. pretty much anything I can get for him that's from Ryan and the guys over at Driven Fab, we're trying to throw it on here, while also trying to keep it somewhat mild. He wants to make 800 wheel, which I don't think is going to be too.
Did you just say 800 after say mild?
Well, yeah. Remember we talked about this before?
Yeah,
right?
I know.
700 is the new 500, right?
Yeah.
So it's got a built motor.
So that, are you saying that I need to make 700 with my Evo because that's a new 500?
Let's make it happen.
Okay.
You're in
Might
FT
as
Black.
well.
We've made 700 on one before.
Yeah, I just I gotta go E85 and
E85 and
injectors and
you got the
fuel
cams, you got everything for it. You just
yeah,
gotta
that's true.
turn her up a little
Time to
bit.
blow it up a little bit.
No, you'll be alright. Come to the front.
So here in the shop, I noticed there's the cleanest 240SX cold key that I've ever seen just sitting here. So what's the plan with this beauty?
So this is kind of like top secret. This is like the unveil right now, I guess.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's all right though.
Unveil.
So this is Scott Frazzo's new car for next year.
Okay.
It's gonna be a 2J build, obviously. It's not getting an LS swap.
2J.
I refuse to put an LS in a 240. If this was an American car, it gets an American engine. If it's a Japanese car, it gets a Japanese engine. Yeah.
So there's finally gonna be a 2J build on my YouTube channel for my 2J fans.
So this will be
That's
a 2J
awesome.
build, turbo 400. Just a plan. We plan for a straight up. We're in Detroit, right? There's a huge grudge scene. There's a huge street scene here.
Yeah.
We want to build a car that we can take out, on 15 mile or take down a mile into to Pesos, no ET shootouts.
It's a stupid quick street car basically.
Yeah, like a 26, 28-inch tire, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Mid-low 8-second car. I don't think it would be too hard to do.
Yeah. Nothing crazy. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
this one's, it's a car that's here. It's got a 2.4 liter in it. It's got a busher motor, but they were having some issues with it. So motor's coming out, getting refreshed, getting looked over. That'll be a 2.4 long rod build. So this one is Nico Morales' car. He's a good buddy of ours. He's trying to get the car ready to go down to some races like import face-off and stuff, so we're wrapping the car up. It's a 2.1 D-stroker, big cam, top mount manifold setup. Manifold comes off the head and like goes underneath and the turbo sits there.
Right.
That's how it's going to be on this now.
Interesting. How does this LED taillight work to pick up the ricer things?
These are actually like,
Do you like it?
they're not bad.
I'm seeing them on eBay.
As much as I hate to say it, I kind of like them. So it's a black and clear one, but like the LEDs are colored like a JDM taillight. So they're like red here and then yellow down here.
Oh, that's yellow down there.
Yes.
Can you turn it on or is it dead?
The battery's not in it.
Is this one dead too?
I can check and see if this one works.
I was always curious. I kept seeing these taillights on eBay and I always wondered what it looks like in person. So if it comes on...
His battery's dead.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay, maybe next time then.
Yeah.
So here is Promo. Some of you guys know him.
Hey, how's it going?
And his race car.
Yeah, these are the practice tires, which I'm now putting on the Genesis. But yeah, Michelin Cup Sports.
Oh wow, interesting. That's how they come, or is it just one out?
Yeah, this is how they come. They came on the
Oh, okay.
911 GT3s, I think. I bought these off Turner. They are 3-piece forged line G83Rs, but the bolts are on the inside.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
They weigh like next to nothing. So they're perfect for a set of 330s.
Oh wow, that's not bad. What size are these?
They are 18 by 11.5.
You said you're running what? 330s?
Yeah, 330s.
330s? That's crazy.
So making these fit's gonna be kind of fun, but
Oh man, wow.
Go ahead.
Oh. Alright guys, the car started and it sounds ridiculous. My eyes and nose are stinking from the fuel. Wait, so what fuel do you have in here?
The car runs on Ignite Red. It's 114 octane. It's 90% ethanol. It's like it's a race gas that we get from Ignite, and it's pretty awesome.
Alright, so that's it for today guys. Car starts. We got big plans for the weekend. Dyno tomorrow, hopefully. Track day on Saturday. So we'll keep you updated. Thanks for watching the video guys, and I'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, like sometimes I say it to be funny.